Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 17 of What If Naruto Was a Vampire. Remember to hit this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also go ahead and check out the new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected by Everyone on Anime King and enjoy guys. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto returned different after his training trip. So go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And also go ahead and check out What If Aizuna Uchiha was Naruto's ancestor that I posted on this channel, and enjoy guys. And remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new, I'll be replying and talking back to all of you. So without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Begin the intro guys.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, to do our recap, the last part we left off, Snally was pissed at Naruto as he went to Kumo and got Yujito. But Naruto told them that he disguised himself as Orochimaru. No one didn't even know that it was him, and this will put Orochimaru on high alert, as he will probably slip up. Kumo ninjas are going to be after him so badly, saying that he destroyed a couple of their buildings. Yeah, Naruto allowed the clone to destroy a couple of buildings for the Raikage to be super pissed at him. As they brought Yujito back to Konoha, Eva didn't like Yujito one bit, as she especially didn't like that she was going to stay with Naruto. Meanwhile, Sasuke was tired and fed up of everything, as he's always being pushed back. He tried to face off his Itachi, but he was too weak and he was tired of it all. He was then attacked by the Sun 4 who tied him up. The moment they said Orochimaru, Sasuke told them that he was in, as they released him. As Sasuke told them that he was going to meet them at the south entrance. Meanwhile, Ino and Sakura were out eating ice cream as the both of them saw Sasuke walking by. The both of them went over there as Ino saw the bag on his back. Was he going somewhere? As Sakura rushed over and asked him where he was going. As Sasuke then told Sakura that she's been a true friend to him since they became Team 7, and he thanked her for that. As Ino saw Sasuke going through hand sign, but she didn't know what the hell he was doing, as Sakura wouldn't think that he would really do, but her thoughts were cut off as Sasuke drive his Chidori hand right through her chest. His eyes started to mouth as a tear ran out of it, giving him the newly awakened Mangekyou. As Sasuke knocked out Ino and he headed off, as he was feeling a lot of guilt right now, but he was also feeling power. The power that he needed for so long. The power that will grow and grow until he's strong enough to get his revenge, because nothing mattered now except for his revenge. The next morning, Naruto was informed by Shikamaru as they went to the office. As Naruto went blank when he heard those words. He knew that Sakura was annoying and sometimes she really get on his nerve, always fawning over Sasuke. But he couldn't believe this. He couldn't believe Sasuke would do something like this to his own comrade, as Naruto was selected to be the leader of this mission. The group then headed off as they moved at top speed. Sasuke was sealed in the coffin as the group came across Zone 4, as Naruto left a member behind each time to fight, a member of the Zone 4. In the end, Kimimaro was the one who take the coffin and Naruto went after him. When Naruto finally got there, Kimimaro was in the clearing as Naruto could sense a whole bunch of other chakra signatures nearby, as Orochimaru also walked out in the clearing with a smile on his face. "It's good to see you again," he said, as Naruto saw hundreds of Sound Ninjas appear, but Naruto was pissed seeing Orochimaru here after what Sasuke just did. As Naruto looked up at them, his eyes were not red, they were black. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can instruct us, please, and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. We start this episode with Eva and Yujito, as Eva was asked by Naruto to show Yujito around the village. As the both of them were now in a cafe, as Eva was sipping some green tea. She didn't know what it was, but there was a feeling. She was feeling something. Something was off and she just couldn't put her mind on it. Is something wrong? Asked Yujito after seeing the look on Eva's face. No, I'm fine, said Eva. Come on, stop lying to me, said Yujito. From that look on your face, I can tell that something's wrong. Now, I know we're not really good friends, but Naruto did told you to show me around. And for his sake, can we just please get along? Eva narrowed her eyes at her. Fine, she said. Well, I'm feeling off. What do you mean off? Asked Yujito. I don't know, I just have this sinking feeling like something's wrong. That something's wrong with Naruto, she said. Huh? Said Yujito. What could be wrong with Naruto? By the way, where is he? He went on a mission. What kind of mission? Asked Yujito. You know, I don't really know. I wonder if I can go and ask the Hokage. Well, I don't really know her that much, said Yujito. Have you met her? No, not really, Eva said. But I'm judging that Naruto explained about me to her, so yeah. Let's go talk to her, as the both of them got up and headed off. Meanwhile, Naruto was surrounded by all angles. As he was glancing around him, ninjas were everywhere, but he wasn't even worried, as Naruto felt something inside of him changing. He didn't know where this rage just started to build, as it is consuming him slowly. His eyes, he didn't even notice, but his eyes are now black. Orochimaru chuckled. So Naruto, what are you gonna do now? The last time, it was just 1-on-1. But now you have to face off against an army. I know you're strong, but are you that strong? Or would you risk your life to get Sasuke right here, he said as he patted the coffin, as Kimimaro had brought it to him, as both of them were standing a distance away, out of the crowd that surrounded Naruto. Orochimaru, I'm gonna kill you, Naruto said, as his voice even sounded more dark. For what, you? Your corrupted mind did to Sasuke. You're the reason why he went down this dark path. And I can't find it in myself to forgive him. You know what he did before he left? He killed a Konoha shinobi, a young girl. There is no coming back for him now. Seeing if he does, her parents would want action against him, and he will be sent to prison for execution for what he did, killing and betraying. And I'm not so sure that Tsunade Senju, the new Hokage, will take lightly to the Uchiha. And this is all your fault. And I can't get myself to forgive Sasuke, because all I want to do right now is kill him. And I'm gonna kill you as well, Naruto said. Huh. Big talk, but can you get past all of them to get to me? As Orochimaru was about to snap his finger, but Naruto vanished in a blur. Orochimaru then was pushed out of the way by Kimimaro, as a hand ran right through Kimimaru's chest. Kimimaru's eyes went wide along with Orochimaru's, as Orochimaru couldn't believe that speed, as all of the ninjas around Naruto were stunned. He moved so fast, some of them didn't even see. Most of them didn't even see, while some of the more advanced ones saw a blur. Orochimaru saw him coming, but it was like his body didn't want to react fast enough. The kid was moving at such speed. As Orochimaru then regained his footing, as Naruto slammed Kimimaru's face down into the ground and pulled out his hand, as Kimimaru started to bleed out on the ground, coughing up a lot of blood, a huge hole right into him. As Orochimaru then looked down at Naruto's feet to see, he felt the Nine-Tails chakra. It was coursing on the boy's feet. It was like a dam just break open, and instead of water, there was chakra, and all of that chakra was focused on his feet. That is why he appeared in front of me so fast, Orochimaru said. As he noticed, he didn't grab the barrel. As Naruto raised his hand, as he now sent the chakra to his hand, most of it, as he brought down his hand to smash the barrel to pieces. But before he could, 3 ninjas jumped forward as they got into his way. Naruto jumped up in the air as he delivered a roundhouse kick to one of their faces, smashing their jawbone as he was sent flying. The other one tried to stab Naruto in his back. Naruto spun around and grabbed his wrist and snapped it. The ninja cried out in pain as Naruto grabbed his head and one quick motion broke his neck and tossed his body to the other ninja as the both of them crashed into each other. Orochimaru then gave the signal to attack as one of his ninja threw the coffin towards him as all of the other ninjas rushed towards Naruto. All of them are going through hand signs. Water, fire, earth, lightning, wind. All different kind of techniques coming towards Naruto as he was just standing there. But Naruto didn't even seem fazed by any of it as the chakra around him started to build. It was a mixture of his darkness along with Kurama's chakra as the chakra was very dark. The color was tainted as Naruto simply waved his hand and released a streak of chakra that teared through the air, slammed in all techniques, destroying them. As Orochimaru was really impressed by this boy, to see a kid his age. As Orochimaru then smiled, as he will soon activate his plan, but he wanted to see how far will Naruto go, as he wondered if any of these ninjas will be able to take him down. He then looked at the coffin. "Soon, my precious host," he said, as he rubbed the top of the coffin. 5 ninjas charged at Naruto as all of them had swords. All of them brought down their swords, but their swords only hit the ground. "Looking for me," said a voice, as all of them cried out in pain as Naruto slashed through their backs, as they started to cough up a lot of blood. About 10 other ninjas jumped towards Naruto, but bones extended from all out of his body, as they were far longer than Kimimara's. As Orochimaru saw, the Fox Chakra is helping him a lot as the bones extended so far, piercing through ninjas all over the battlefield. The bones then break apart inside of them, but instead of just falling down, the bones started to twist as they started to spin in the air and started to kill other ninjas surrounding him. As Naruto then slammed his hand on the ground started to shake as a giant crystal emerged. The crystal opened up as it started to break apart. The crystal stream started to run on the ground as everyone tried to jump away from it. But once most of them were caught on top of the crystal, a huge spike burst out of it, as it could sense where they were on top of it, as it stabbed right through their leg, bursting through their head. It just went straight up. It was very small and it just pierced right up, killing them in seconds. As the ninjas, far range ones went through hand sign, 10 of them, fire style, fireball jutsu they said, as their fireball hit head on. As most of them smiled in triumphant, thinking that Naruto was dead. But their smile quickly faded as they saw in the fire Naruto stood there. He didn't even move. His body was burned, but it was regenerating at such a level that it was like it wasn't even a scratch on him in the first place. As Naruto burst forward out of the flames running behind him like it was chasing him, as it was just following his momentum. The flames on the ground then rise up as Naruto was infusing them with chakra. As Naruto opened his mouth, as he released a giant flame that infused the other one, as ninjas screamed for their life as they were burned alive. Others tried to throw kunais and shuriken towards him, as Naruto fired bones and crystal towards them that stabbed and pierced through a lot of them, as bodies dropped to the ground like fly. Orochimaru was still standing there watching this, as if Naruto was on his side, he would truly be a gifted warrior. He would be the one to help him destroy Konoha because this boy is something else. As Naruto let out a primal scream, he stomped his foot into the ground, as all of them started to run as the ground started to get heat up. The ground then exploded as flames emerged from everywhere, as ninjas were being fried alive. As Naruto sent a huge portion of Kurama's chakra up towards his hand, as Orochimaru watched him create a Rasengan, but this one, it was red, with a taint of black inside. As he built it and built it, adding more chakra, it became unstable for a second, but he stabilized it. As it became so large, Orochimaru could not see the sun behind it. As Naruto jumped up in the air so high, Orochimaru grabbed the coffin as he jumped away. As the ninjas looked up, most of them dropped their swords. As most of them dropped to their knees, some of them praying. They couldn't get away in time, they weren't as fast, as Orochimaru was jumping from tree to tree, as he could still see the massive spear behind him. This boy, he's ridiculous, Orochimaru said as he kept on jumping. As if that attack hit him, he would be wiped off the face of this earth, and he couldn't allow it to hit his precious Uchiha. As he now saw that Naruto's skills were definitely incredible. But he has to do this. He has to do this now, he said. But Naruto already launched his Rasengan, as his Rasengan plummeted down to the ground. He was pushing it with pure Fox Chakra. It was like he threw it like a ball. The Rasengan hit the ground as Orochimaru saw the light show. There was a huge bang that teared through the forest. Trees get rooting up, stones were destroyed. As Orochimaru doubted that any one of his men survived that attack. As he must say, Naruto is truly a worthy opponent. As Orochimaru then smirked, as a new clearing was created from Naruto Rasengan, as he went back to the destruction to see bodies everywhere. As Orochimaru walked up to see Naruto in the center of all of it. "You stupid pedophile snake," Naruto said. "You really came back here. I thought that you would have run away a long time ago. But I guess you're eager to die. And I'm glad for that, so I won't have to chase you down." Before Naruto could say anything else, Orochimaru smirked as he held up a single hand sign. Naruto then felt his body froze. Meanwhile, inside of the cell, Kurama saw something glowing on the ground. "What the hell is that?" he said. As he walked over to check it out, the moment he got near, snakes burst from it. But Kurama, being the mighty beast he is, he teared through the snakes. As Kurama was ripping each and every one of them apart, but they kept on coming, as they kept on getting larger and larger. But Kurama wouldn't stand for it, as he let out a roar, pure chakra tearing them to pieces. As Naruto felt that he couldn't move. "What's wrong with me?" he said. As Orochimaru chuckled, "That should keep the fox busy for a while," he said, as he walked forward. "You know, at first, this was hard. I mean, I had to sacrifice a lot of life, a lot of chakra, to compress it all in that single seal." "What the hell are you talking about?" said Naruto, as he still couldn't move. "Well, you see, Naruto, realizing that I couldn't take you head on, even though I'm a Sannin and you're just a Genin, it's really disappointing, I know. But I realized that soon, so I had to do something. That is why I experimented with 50 of my own ninjas, extracting all bit of chakra they had. I realized something about your body. It's like your body is moving on another level. It's like you're not restrained to human flexibility. You can twist your body in certain ways and do certain things that you couldn't do if you were alive." As Naruto looked at him and narrowed his eyes, "I got it right, didn't I? This vampirism, it has something to do with your life. And I believe the only reason why you're immortal is because you're dead. So I had to do the next best thing and get a chakra source that is large as a Kyuubi. Well, this ninja chakra source is not really large as it, but it's enough. I drained all 50 of them. I compressed everything and sealed it inside of that tag. I had to make special modification though, which I spent hours and days and weeks on, so I could put it on you without the fox, that ignorant brute, detecting anything. But I guess it worked. In the long run, it did. Seeing that it had also a small amount of suppressing, so if the fox was to get any clue of it, it would kind of push him off, suppressing some of his chakra. That is exactly why he didn't sense it. Every time his chakra would flow near to or something, it will just suppress it a bit, so he wouldn't find out, and he wouldn't feel anything wrong. It took me long hours of work and steer. But I guess my work paid off," said Orochimaru. "And now, you're all mine to do what I want with you. I am hoping right now that your fox is busy fighting off those snakes. And you will have to fight them for a very long while, seeing that it is using 50 human chakra source to create them. So it's a lot. And the reason why you cannot move, the foreign chakra is invading your body and restraining it to my command." As Orochimaru smirked and walked up to Naruto. "Oh, my precious boy," he said. You have shown me a new world, a new light, something I never expected that I would ever live to see. Vampire, these abilities of yours are amazing, and once I find out the secret, I will be unstoppable, said Orochimaru, as he regurgitated that sword. He then smiled, and one swift motion he took off Naruto's hand. But Naruto didn't even make a sound, as in a couple of seconds Naruto's hand regrew, as Orochimaru chuckled. Truly amazing, he said. The regeneration ability is far complex and beyond everything that I've ever witnessed. In this world, you're like a god when it comes to that ability. Who knows, if you had lived longer, you would have probably became the god of this world. Huh. You can't kill me, said Naruto. Huh, can't I? Well, I've been watching you. I realized something. You, always, move away from danger when it comes to your head. I saw that in our battle. You never allowed me to chop off your head before. I was always aiming to do it, thinking that it was your one weakness. But you always protected that so dear. So I'm guessing that it has something to do with that. And I wonder if I remove your head and move your body a far distance away, you will be useless, since you cannot control it for it to heal back or anything. And I don't think that you would just regrow a separate body like that. Well, I don't know the full extent of your abilities, but I'm not chancing anything. So I'll just incinerate everything. As Orochimaru smirked, Naruto was frightened on the inside, but he never showed it, as he knew if Orochimaru incinerated his body, he would be done for. But these damn seals, as he still couldn't move. As Naruto closed his eyes, Eva had told him this. Two vampires can connect with each other even though they're a distance away, because they have a bond, as she was the one who turned him. And by the way guys, some of you has been asking in the comment, how did he not just bring Sakura back to life or Hiruzen? Remember, you have to die with the vampire blood in your system. Seeing that Naruto got stabbed and attacked by the attacks when Eva first came to this world, and he wasn't dead, he was on the brink of death, but Eva dropped some of her blood into his mouth, and then he died, and that is why he became a vampire. So there is no way of turning a person into vampire if they're already dead. Back to the story. Naruto was searching his mind as he was crying out Eva's name. Meanwhile, Eva and Yujito was in Tsunade's office. What can I help you girls with today? Asked Tsunade. Well, we want to know where Naruto is. He didn't tell you? Asked Tsunade as she looked at Yujito. As Eva then stepped forward. What is going on, she asked. Let me guess. You're Eva, right? You know me? Said Eva. From your appearance that Naruto told me about, I can tell that it's you. But seeing that it's the both of you, the Uchiha has deserted Konoha, and Naruto and the team went after him. Oh, well, that's not so alarming, said Eva. Why not? Asked Yujito. Well, Naruto can beat Sasuke in his sleep, so I'm not worried. But she just stopped talking. Eva? Yujito asked. Eva, Yujito said again. Eva, she shouted. Be quiet, Eva said. As Eva heard her name being called. Naruto, is that you? She spoke in her mind. You can hear me? Said Naruto. I can, she said. I need your help. Quickly. What's going on? Said Eva. I'm in the forest. Just follow the trail. Please, hurry up. Orochimaru's got me. He has some strange seal on my body, and he figured that he can incinerate my body. And if you don't come quick, I'm gonna... But Naruto suddenly cut off. Naruto! Naruto, Eva cried out. As Naruto felt the connection cut, as Orochimaru drive a sword right through his heart, just teasing him and standing there. As Naruto lost connection because he lost focus. As Naruto spit out some blood. So, is this your big game? Toying with me like this? Well, I already got what I needed, Orochimaru said, as he already sealed the hand away into a scroll. I just wanted to make you suffer for what you did to me. Humiliate me back then. In all my years, I never met a genin that could treat me that way. And it sick me, Orochimaru said as he drive the sword right through Naruto's chest again. But truly, you are incredible, Uzumaki. These wounds, even through your beating heart, cannot kill you. I wonder, he said. As he raised the sword, he drive it right through Naruto's head. As Naruto gasped as blood started to leak down into his face, but he didn't cry out in pain or anything. He held in all of his screams. As Orochimaru ripped out his sword, slicing Naruto's eye out in the process. As Orochimaru watched as Naruto's body regenerate right in front of him. As Orochimaru saw Naruto's blood leaking everywhere. I wonder something. What will happen if you lose a lot of blood? Will your body go decay or something? So if I were like to do this, as he sliced Naruto right across the chest, and yet again Naruto holding the scream, as blood started to flow from his wound. Meanwhile in the seal, Kurama was fed up and tired of all of this. That is why he's building a Biju bomb. As he released the Biju bomb in the mindscape, it teared through all of the snakes as it exploded. As there's a huge explosion that rocked the mindscape. As Kurama stood there with a triumph look on his face. But his eyes then went wide as he noticed the damn snakes keep on coming. Even though they were no match for him, there was just so much and they're getting on his nerve. As he hadn't even checked on Naruto yet, his container, wondering how this is affecting his body. As Kurama didn't have time, as he had to smash a snake under his palm. As the snakes are getting larger and larger, as one of them is large as him. But Kurama quickly ripped out his neck, killing it, as they kept on coming. The source of chakra keep on building the snakes over and over again. It seems like Orochimaru had built up this chakra for a long time, and sacrificed a lot of people by draining them completely. Meanwhile in the outside world, blood was running like a river, as Orochimaru had used numbers of ninjutsus to slice through Naruto's body over and over. As he didn't cut off his limbs anymore, but he let him bleed hard, as Naruto was bleeding all over the place. But it still didn't break him, as Orochimaru was pissed. He wanted Naruto to scream and beg him to stop, for humiliating back then. He wanted Naruto to feel the same thing that he felt, but the kid just stayed there with that arrogant look on his face, like none of this that affecting him. He then noticed smoke coming from the coffin, as a smirk came on his face. The coffin lid then exploded. As Sasuke emerged, he was in his level 2 curse mark state, but his body returned back to normal. As Sasuke looked around, he never thought that he would came out to see this sight. Orochimaru, Sasuke said, "Ah, my boy Sasuke, it seems like you have finally achieved the next step." As he then narrowed his eyes, "Naruto?" he said. Sasuke, Naruto said, as Naruto was coated in blood. "What is going on?" asked Sasuke. "Well, your friends decided to follow you, and they face off against my man. I know I've captured the Uzumaki, and he's totally helpless. I know he has pushed you off like you were nothing, Sasuke, so if you want to take a few shots at him, now is the right time." "I don't have time for Naruto," Sasuke said. "I will achieve my goal, and I will end him." "Sasuke," Naruto said, as Sasuke looked at him, as Naruto's eyes were black again. "I know what you did. You killed her." Sasuke looked down at the ground. "You piece of shit," Naruto said. "That girl admired you. She loved you with all of her heart. And you killed her just for power. Just for greed. Power to restore my clan," Sasuke shouted. "Don't talk to me because you don't know what I felt. You don't know what I am doing." "And I don't care," Naruto said. "But you should know. I am going to kill you. And how are you going to do that? You're trapped. You're worthless. You're weak right now. I can end your life myself." "Oh, you didn't know?" said Orochimaru. "It seems like our dear friend Naruto here is immortal." "What?" said Sasuke. "Well, I will tell you more once we reach the base. But you should know he's immortal. And it doesn't matter what you do to him now. You cannot kill him, but I think I found a way." As Sasuke glared at Naruto, "Keep looking at me like that. I'm gonna make your death as painful as possible." Sasuke walked forward as he slammed his fist in Naruto's face. "Shut your mouth, you don't understand. I did it because I needed power." As he slammed his fist in Naruto's face again. "Keep on hurting me. Take out all your anger on me, because when I find you, You're gonna wish that you were dead. As Sasuke kept on driving his fist in Naruto's face. As the curse mark on his neck started. As Orochimaru smiled as a flame-like tattoo covered his body. As Sasuke kept on slamming his fist in Naruto's face over and over and over again. As Naruto took each hit without making a single sound. As he just looked at Sasuke right in the face every time he punched him. I'm gonna kill you, Naruto said. Just watch it. As Sasuke had enough of this, he went through hand sign as a Shidori formed around his hand. As Orochimaru stood there with a smile on his face, as he watched Sasuke drive the Shidori right through Naruto's heart. I won't allow you to exact your revenge on me, said Sasuke. But he realized that Orochimaru was telling the truth. As Naruto coughed some blood in his face, Sasuke stepped back and wiped off the blood. But other than that, Naruto was still standing there completely fine. As Naruto then smiled, Orochimaru felt like something was off. As Orochimaru felt the Fox Chakra, it was like it was cut from Naruto. As Naruto started to flex his hand, as Orochimaru stepped back in fear and so did Sasuke. You see, I was just buying time, Naruto said. For that to happen. For what to happen, Orochimaru said. Well, right now, I cut off all chakra connected to Kurama. And that chakra you sent in my system, it's currently being held off by me. But after using Kurama's chakra for so long, there is chakra flowing through my veins. I don't need to tap in the reservoir of Kurama's chakra in the mindscape anymore. Because this should be enough, he said, as his fist started to glow with chakra around it. Sasuke, he cried out. As Sasuke stepped back, he felt utter fear, as it was like Naruto was looking into his soul. But Orochimaru chuckled. Do you really think I never had another plan? Huh. I knew that something like this might happen. So, I added some more special effect to the seal. Those chains are even strong enough to hold back the Kyuubi, so they should be able to restrain you. For now. But Naruto, I no longer wish to give you a proper death. I want you to suffer. I'm going to make your own immortality. It's gonna be hell to you. As Orochimaru took out a scroll and went through hand sign. As he released a coffin. As he grabbed the chain and threw Naruto inside. He then pumped some chakra into the coffin. Spikes erupted. One of the spikes stabbed Naruto through his legs. One of them stabbing his arms, as the rest of them stabbed him all over his torso. And spikes erupted on the lid of the coffin. As Orochimaru chuckled, this was another plan in case you break the first one. And this one seemed to be more successful. And I will make your immortality be held to you, Naruto. Because knowing and living every day, knowing that you can't escape from your own death, because you can't die. As Orochimaru went through hand sign, as he slammed his hand right on Naruto's chest, a giant seal appeared. It had a skull in the center of it. That's a dead demon seal. It worked better on those who's alive, but I think it will work on you as well. As black markings started to appear on Naruto's body, as Naruto then cried out in pain as Orochimaru smirked. It was like everything was removing his flesh and his flesh was being healed, and the spikes were still inside of him. He had finally cried out in pain a bit, as the black markings appeared all over him. As Sasuke stood there, as he just had a solemn look on his face, not really saying anything. As Naruto looked at him, I will kill you, he muttered. As he looked at Orochimaru, I'm gonna make it even worse for you. Confident to the end, look at the position you're in, and you think you can kill me, Orochimaru said. It's time you learn. As he then placed his hand on the coffin, as another seal appeared, just in case. As he placed the other hand on the coffin and another seal appeared, as Orochimaru started to fill the coffin with seals all over. As he slammed the lid down, as the lid on the spike on the lid pierced right through Naruto's chest, as two of them pierced through his eyes. As Orochimaru placed a final seal on the coffin as it glowed red, as a snake-like tattoo came around it and stuck in the middle, like a seal being closed. 5 ninjas then appeared behind Orochimaru. Lord Orochimaru-sama were here. It took you long enough, said Orochimaru. Now get this coffin and toss it into the deepest lake that you can find. Make sure that it go down to the dead center. As Orochimaru chuckled. Is he dead? Sasuke asked. I already told you, my boy Sasuke. He cannot die. So for him living in there for years upon years, just suffering, with all those seals I placed on him, and with him cutting off the connection with the Kyuubi, that was the best thing for me. So he can't resort on using his power right now, since I already sealed that connection as well. So he will just stay there and rot, Orochimaru said. And since he can't die, that would be forever. As Orochimaru chuckled, as he looked at Sasuke, I spoiled the preparations, he said to himself. But in 3 years' time, I will have something better than your body, Uchiha. But at least, I can combine the vampirism with those eyes of his, making an even more perfect body. As he smiled to himself, he pulled out a scroll and placed it on the ground. What is that? Asked Sasuke. Just a gift for the Konoha ninjas when they come. Meanwhile, in the forest, Eva, along with Yujito and Kakashi, who just arrived from a mission, was moving at top speed, as Naruto needed help and the others as well. They already subdued all who they came across. The Sound 4 was no match for Eva. Yujito and Kakashi was also there, so they were able to subdue all of them, as the medic ninjas already took the kids away. They finally arrived to the spot when they came. They just saw destruction like there was a battle here, but no one was here. As Eva spotted the scroll. What's this? She said. As her eyes went wide when she started to read, it was a note from Orochimaru saying that he has killed Naruto. As Eva tried to contact Naruto by her senses, but she couldn't. She couldn't feel nothing. It was like he wasn't there anymore. As she looked at a primal roar in the area, as Yujito went over and picked up the scroll. She started to read it, as a tear came to her eye. She just met him, and as she was feeling so much conflicted feelings right now. Time skip. A couple of hours later, the group arrived. Here it is, one of them said. Yeah, let's do it, he said, as he went through hand sign. Water style, water torrent, as the coffin started to be pulled down underwater. Meanwhile, in the coffin, Naruto's body was impaled from all angles, as water started to seep in the coffin, as there was some special holes on it, just for Orochimaru to torment him even more. As Naruto started to drown, as he was screaming on top of his lungs for him to let him out of here, but no one could hear his scream, as the coffin was on the bottom of the ocean. But guys, me end this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, I already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn that bell notification to stay posted. Remember to share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And yeah guys, see you tomorrow, but for now I'm out. Peace.